Well.
Hey, kittens.
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Good evening.
Good evening.
What's the script? You're not listening.
Listen, today is Wednesday. October
17th. Yes.
2018.
18. Yes. I knew it. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I said 17 just to trick you up.
Mm-hmm.
We are in episode number
35.
And there you have it. 35. 10 less than that butthole down on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And
yes, there we go.
Yeah. So,
who are you?
Huh?
What is this show?
My name is Epic, and your name is Dominion, but this is the BGKH Show with Dominion and Epic.
Oh, okay. Listen,
So,
I was just. We didn't say that part yet. I was just.
You reading the script? How did you not say it?
Well,
what you can't read?
It.
You got something on your glasses? See, this is how stuff gets. This is how rumors get started.
After like 35
this is exactly
episodes,
listen.
It's about to be the BGKH Show with Dominion. Anywho, so what does BGKH stand for?
So, let me go ahead and readjust my seat here.
Make sure you're still in the frame.
Well, I'm here. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Hey, Clinton.
Hey, how y'all doing?
So,
hey, Walter, how's it going?
What's up, Walter?
Debo. What? We got Debo in the house?
Who? What?
Debo.
Hey.
And Brandon.
Oh,
I feel like what was that? I see Debo and Walter and Brandon. What was that show?
I'm coming back. And we're back.
What was that show,
So
though?
this is the BGKH Show.
Yes.
This is the show for the blacks,
The blacks.
the gays, the kinky, but most of all, it's for all of them that are human.
That
there we
is
have it.
us. We are human, goddammit.
Are we, though?
I'm human.
Are you, though?
Mostly. You know, I'm 1,032nd Cherokee.
Hachapana Indian.
Hachapana Indian, yes. You know. I am one quarter Korean, half black, and one quarter Hachapana Indian. So there's a lot going on in the world today. So
listen,
the first thing I wanted. So I don't really pay much attention to the news, really, since November 2016. But today is the Powerball is worth $350 million, and the drawing is tonight. So you got till 10 o'clock to get your tickets.
No, you had until
You had it because you're here.
You had to do it before 7.
So
yeah, you had to do it before 7. So it's over.
But
you can't. Yeah.
But you have another chance because on Friday, the Mega Millions is currently worth $900 million. So we know between now and Friday, it's definitely gonna go over $1 billion.
Get your tickets because I already got mine.
So I got my tickets.
Yeah.
So
I get
right
my
before
tickets
the show, I was in line down the street at the gas station.
They were still selling them? I thought they were supposed to sell them.
Until 10 o'clock because the drawing is at 11 Eastern time.
Maybe I'm thinking about the lottery because I thought they had to end it before 7.
That's what for the numbers.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, that's what I know.
Because the numbers, the daily double or whatever, not the daily double, but whatever the numbers, you get the box or the straight or whatever.
Okay.
The 4 numbers that your auntie always did.
And my grandma.
Yeah. So those numbers end at like 7, but you still get the Powerball and Mega Millions up until 10 o'clock.
This I didn't know, but that's okay. But I usually get mine during the day anyway.
So I'm like, I got my little $6 because I'm not spending a whole lot of money. So the Powerball tickets are $2 a piece. So I just wanted 3 tickets on 3 separate tickets. So that's all I wanted. This chick is in line in front of me, right?
And it's the 350.
This is 350.
Okay, all right.
And I'm like, all right, so let me just get my 3 tickets. So these ringing up, and I keep seeing the numbers going up and up and up. And she leaves and goes to the ATM machine that's in the gas station. And then she's like, this ATM machine don't work. I was like, no, honey, you don't have any money. So I guess she managed to get the money or whatever. So she got all of her tickets. And I'm standing in the line looking at her. And I was like, ooh, I hope the first thing you do when you get some money is get those edges done.
Ooh. Was they like, were they just undone or were they missing? Like, do you have to put an APB out on them or like?
It looked like they were.
Like once upon a
it
time
looked like
was
she
there
had
an
a
edge?
wig on. but it was her actual hair. That was how bad it was.
But there's some really nice wigs out there. I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm saying her hair was like she had put that hard whatever it is and makes it, the freeze whatever on. It's just a mess. And then she had the nerve to get into a new Mercedes. So I was like, you got enough money to get your edges done. What are you doing with your life? Anyway,
She could have been driving her boyfriend.
whatever.
I'm just saying.
Whatever. So,
but he could have gave you somebody to get their hair done.
he sure could have.
Yeah.
Today, I was at work, and me and my coworkers were talking about what we would do if we won the lottery. And I was like, well, I would. He said, how much would it take for you to quit this job, the job that we at? And then I did some math, and I said, 5% interest.
And listen,
it was $10 million was what I would need to quit, because conservatively, if you put that money in the bank, and it was a conservative estimate of what you could make off of interest and investments and stuff, 5% is a conservative. That's like if you do stocks and bonds and all kinds of other shit. That's $500,000 in interest. I was like, I could live fabulously on $500,000 a year and never touch the principal.
Absolutely.
And then I was like, and then I could get another job. He was like, you would get another job? I was
Yeah.
like, I'm only 47 years old.
Like, you think I'm gonna sit home and do like
I was like,
nothing?
my father is 75. His father lived to be 84. My grandmother lived to be 72. Her younger sister is like 89. So people in my family live a while. So I'm 47. I got another 40 years.
Listen.
And what I'm supposed to do, I can't just sit around drinking tea for the next 40 years. So I'm about to have something to do with my life.
I agree with you on that.
However,
comma, I could.
or howsoever.
Right, howsoever. But no, I would have my days where I'm like, listen. Well, first of all, I would set myself up where I would go in when I want to. Number one.
Well, that's a given.
Well, yeah. And so with that, if I rolled over and decided I wasn't gonna go nowhere, and I wasn't gonna do nothing,
Right.
then that's fine. That's how I feel.
Right.
But as far as this money's concerned, listen, with this 350, even with this 900 plus for the Mega Millions, listen. Here, let me tell you. Listen, pay attention. If you get a text message from me that says "Meet me at the airport with your passport on this date at this time," then you already know.
Okay.
You already know. You already know. I'm not coming back to work. My boss already knows. I was like, listen, you know that I love you to death. Now I'm gonna break off my department with a nice brunch and a nice lunch, and then I might take you all on a nice little trip. I actually know my department and the people. I would do that for them.
I mean, they cool or whatever, but they're not getting shit.
But I would take them on a trip.
I ain't even gonna work there no more. I'm not even gonna work at that field anymore, so they ain't even gonna get a resignation.
I would take them on a trip.
They want to get a B out.
I would take them on a trip, but that would be the last thing. Now some of them I will keep in touch with, but listen, I'll be like, this is my. No, I would.
You've been working there for a long time,
it's only been 3 years. I'm just saying. But, now, the question is, where would I call home? That would be the question. Because I really like this area. Well, again, so I really like this area, so I would want to be here. But I don't know. I don't know where I would call home.
I think I would still stay here. First of all, I wouldn't keep in touch with none of the hoes that I work with now. Because we just don't have those deeper relations. There's other people at other jobs that if I had one then, I probably would keep in touch with, but I don't really have any attachments to any of those people. If you don't know if you have no idea who Dominion is, then you don't deserve to keep in contact with me. Now, there are other people from other jobs who know who Dominion is, and some of them are cool, so they might actually know. But as a rule, no, because the less people know about this, the better.
Okay.
If I lived in a state, if I won in a state where you didn't have to declare, I would not declare, because I do not want to be photographed with a big check.
Let me tell you
or anything,
something.
because I could never go home again. Because let me tell you, I would get. Remember Pooh, the chick that tried to sell me food stamps and not a box of Tide, but a cup of Tide on the day that I closed on my house. Pooh would be like. She would rub her knuckles raw on that door. I wouldn't turn on the lights. I wouldn't come home. I would come home
Look
like
through the windows like
right. I would just have to leave because I live in a transitional neighborhood and they already think that I'm rich because, I have like people to cut the lawn and I clearly have like a housekeeper and all of that. And I work hard for my money, so that's what I choose to do with it. Anyway, if I actually was photographed with a check for $350 million or $900 million, they will be camped out. They will be like, yeah, my neighbor is so and so.
Listen.
It would be foolishness and fuckery.
None of that photography says that you cannot be in a costume. But let me tell you how I will be covered. I would be in a whole Sensei suit with everything covered, right. And I will be standing there with a helmet on my head, waving to everybody. Hey, baby, listen.
Yeah, I'll be in there with a Donald Trump mask on, like.
Listen, I will be standing there, and then when
you could be Melania.
Listen. Turn around with my jacket on and say, I don't really care. Listen, I'll be waving to people like, oh my God, it's great to see you. And when I went into that bathroom and changed my clothes and went out that door,
you wouldn't have no idea who it is.
I'm out.
But you got to put your real name on the check.
That's fine. But listen, there's several people out here with that same name. That's fine.
Yeah, there's not too many.
They'll
people
find
with
them.
My name, though.
They'll find them.
Yeah, they won't find me. But I will be quick. I'll be like Martin and Gina that time. They thought they won the lottery and they came floating in. But we talked about whether we would still work, and they were like, hell no, I wouldn't work. I was like, oh yeah, I still work
because I wouldn't have
too
something
young. And I'd have to do something because I was like, well, most of my friends are still going to work.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to be that person that is financing everybody's lifestyle for the rest of my life.
Not at all.
We'll go on some trips, and like you say, there would be some trips, like I would still probably do that cruise that we doing next year.
Well, yeah.
But let me tell you, listen. I ain't
first
worried
of all,
about no fucking balcony.
First of all, I need this suite. I need this whole side of the boat.
No, exactly.
I need this whole side of the boat.
The deck 12 is a Dominion deck because I'm buying every cabin.
I need everything on this side of the boat. All deck 12.
On this whole deck.
All deck 12.
And listen, I'm like, you take the wall out of this cabin,
Be like, but Mr. Dominion, it's only a 1-week cruise.
Knock down
that bitch of a barren wall
and put a window
where it ought to be. Oh, God.
But yeah, so all of the, like our trip to IML will be entirely different.
So listen.
That spooky hotel?
That's the Hotel Cortez.
Well, let me tell you.
That is the Hotel Cortez. Let's be clear.
If I did, I'd buy that hotel. If I had $900 million, I'd buy that hotel.
I would not buy that hotel because it's a spooky hotel. I would tear that bitch down and I'd buy the one next door to it. Or build one next door because I don't want that. Right. There's too much going on. I don't like that. That's that.
And then family. So we talked about family. What would you do to family? I was like, listen, my father, the end is near for him. So it's not really anything to do for him, but make sure he's as comfortable as possible, which we was already going to do. So my sister gets whatever she wants within reason. Now she's like, I want half. No. But, I'd buy her a house, I'd buy it outright, and I'd set up a fund so that even if she decides she don't ever want to work again, she always knows she got a place to live and all of the bills are paid. I'm sure Pepco would love to be like, we'll set it up and, for the next 40 years, her bill is, look, I'm going to give you $1 million. Don't ever come with us with a bill again.
Right.
So I think they would love that. So I would do that. Now, my father has 4 brothers. And I already know, even if Pooh and them don't come when I got this check,
they gonna show up.
The relatives are gonna be like,
the baby, you in there? You here? It's your uncle. You here?
Hey, cuz, how you doing? What's going on, baby? So to avoid that, I'd have my lawyer, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, draw up the paperwork. Because I got $900 million, right? So I could afford, my father only has 4 brothers. So I could spare $100 million.
Why so much?
Because, just let me finish.
Why so much?
Because my
One
father.
each is good. One each is good. That's
$1
fine.
million?
That's good.
I need.
You want this million or not? You want this million or not? You want this million or not? Your checking account is negative. Do you want this million or not? Do you want this million or not? Sign right here. Get out my face.
They all have. See, it's only me. My father is the only one of the 5 brothers who has children that don't have grandchildren. So my uncles all have children and grandchildren.
So like I said, you want this million or
I'm
not?
I'm paying the taxes. Listen, you want to make it worth their while not to come to you ever again. And maybe 25 million apiece is a lot. All right, we'll say 10. All right, so that's okay. So that takes me down to 4.
That's 9 more than I really want to give them. 1 million each.
Each one of my uncles has at least 3 kids. So I would give them that money, and I would say I would reserve that money for each stream of the family. Everybody that want a piece of that want a check, got to sign a disclosure. You will not come to me for anything ever again in life. Nothing. Nathan. And you know why I'd have to do that? Because some of my uncles are shady enough to where if I gave them $10 million and told them to share it with their children and their grandchildren, they'd be like, your cousin, my name isn't Dominion, your cousin Dominion gave me $1 million. And they keep $9 million for themselves. That's how they are. And so I wouldn't want to mess with them. And you know why I know this would happen? Because back in the day, I used to work for this architecture firm, and this part of the story is unfortunate. But one of the women that worked in our copy center, her fiance got killed by the police.
Okay.
And
I think we talked about this before.
It was clearly like a thing, and she was about to get paid. She was on 60 Minutes and everything. And they talked about how much she was suing for, and they talked about how well the case was going. Let me tell you how they came, her name wasn't Tanya, but let's say it was Tanya. Let me tell you how her relatives came up to our place of business and sat in the lobby, and she was like, don't tell them I'm here. Don't tell them I'm here. They sat there for 6 fucking hours waiting for her to get back because they had seen her on the news. And she was only getting, she was getting like $10 million, which is very cute. But she was like, I don't even know these people. I mean, yes, we are related, but so I know that. So I know how my family is going to be. So I'd have to set them apart.
Mary Alice has 1 sister and 2 brothers, and I really like them all. I really do.
However,
even though the one is irritating me a little bit right now, but listen, you better take this. You want this $1 million? You better take this. Get away from me. Go, and especially right now, at this point in my life,
at this very moment,
take this $1 million and go on about your business. Now, I have some cousins that I would probably have a conversation with, and I might even give them $1 million each. Okay, but that's fine. But I'm not. Listen.
Yeah.
No.
This is what.
No.
I'm not close with any of my father's family, mainly because when my grandmother died in 1980. We stopped getting together as a family, so it's no animosity or anything. It's just that they're complete strangers to me.
Well,
listen, our engineer and his girlfriend could be my cousins, and unless we had like a detailed conversation about family history, we wouldn't know because half of my cousins were born after 1980, which means I haven't even seen them. So I would have no, and our engineer is like 35, right? And his girlfriend, he is robbing the cradle. He bought this 15-year-old child. In here.
Shh, we on air, man. We gotta try to don't say that. We on air, man.
But I'm saying, so I don't even know my cousins like that to be like, oh, I owe you some money. So it would be like giving money to complete strangers. So that's why I would give it to their fathers or their grandfathers and be like, you distribute it. Because then that becomes their problem. And while they're fighting over it, I'm off in Saint-Tropez, or not Saint-Tropez, because that's weird. I keep thinking Band de Soleil for Saint-Tropez.
Yes!
I would be in Santorini. I would have that house, that White House on the hill with the blue roof looking over into the deep blue water.
Fiji.
Tell you.
I want to open up the doors to my hut.
Oh, that's over the water?
Just fall right into the water.
Yes.
Doosh, there we go.
Right.
Like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. And we can all go together. Listen, if I wanted, I'm telling you, I would be really generous with all of my friends. And I know already that I would give a bunch away to my fraternity.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would give
to my university.
I would break them off.
I would give FAMU, here's $5 million. Do not, right now, do not ever send me even a single mailer because let me tell you how the FAMU National Alumni Association blows my mailbox up. And we just had homecoming last week. The way that they were blowing my mailbox up, I had to block them like I did Barack and Michelle. Let me tell you, I love Barack and Michelle, but because I did not really get involved in the 2008 election.
You didn't block Barack and Michelle.
I gave them, listen, I love them. I'm going to say hoes, but you know what I mean. I gave them hoes $50 in 2014.
Oh, God.
I got an acknowledgement, which I expected. And then Michelle started blowing my email up. And like the next week, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I got like 25 emails from Michelle alone. And then Barack still blows my email up with that Obama Foundation stuff.
Listen.
And I'm just like, so yeah, I can't.
Listen, you don't block Aunt Michelle.
Well, I didn't block them,
And
but I
Uncle Barack.
certainly unsubscribed. I certainly unsubscribed because I was like, this is too much. This is too much.
I don't have to worry about that at Pitt because they don't listen. I don't even know they remember what the hell I am. I swear I don't even know if they remember what the hell I am. I never got a yearbook. I wanted to go. I was ready to go. The people and the friends that I made, that was great, but I wanted to go. I just wanted to roll out.
Well, at FAM, so for the longest time I didn't get anything, but then they got rid of all of the old people who were in charge of the National Alumni Association, and they brought in like a whole new generation of people who were much closer to my age, and so they started using social media because I was getting postcards and stuff, but I never got any of those. Once the younger generation came in, it was like, well, why are y'all sending out postcards when you can send out email? That's when my shit started blowing up.
Now, what I also would do is I would definitely make sure that we were talking about the fraternity piece. I would go back and make sure that there's a fraternity house that is set up.
Yeah.
That I would do, affiliated with the university, because
you kids can't seem to keep a house though.
We never had a house at this particular chapter.
I'm talking about generally.
This particular chapter never had a house, and we
ever fighting.
But that would be set up through the university. But listen,
let me tell you,
there's some truth.
The Kappa Luau,
listen,
Florida A&M University. Everybody talks about the Kappa Luau in 1992 when 4,000 people are gathered on the mezzanine at the Leon County Civic Center, and one girl starts screaming, and then all I turn around to see is like a wall of humanity running towards me, and you're on the mezzanine, so I'm like at the stairs, and I'm like, am I gonna have to jump? The fuck? And this girl was in front of me as I was running, so I just scooped her ass up like Johnny Unitas, and I was just like, we got down the stairs and I dropped her off. You look back and like there's high heel shoes and wig pieces just all over the mezzanine.
Not wig pieces.
I'm telling you, it was foolishness. They actually changed the rules in the city of Tallahassee about how large of a gathering you could have at one time, because one fraternity, I mean, no shade to the Kappas. It was not their fault at all that it had happened like this. But it just happened to be the Kappas that had this luau, and
they made a whole boatload of money.
They did because let me tell you, all the people had already paid their money.
They made a boatload of money.
4,000 people, $20 a piece. And that was, then it was people that paid at the door.
Right.
It was foolishness.
They made their boatload of money.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so lottery. Oh, we want to say a shout out to Thomas Gauker.
Yes, hey Thomas.
Who does the podcast, Something Came from Baltimore. So you can look that up on YouTube and you can hear our interview that we did right before this show.
Which was really, really fun and it was really, really interesting. Thank you so much, Thomas. It was great talking to you. And maybe we should have Thomas on the show. Maybe we should call him.
We should. I
think Thomas might reach out to you and have you on the show.
He can either come in or call in, because
you could be the second caller that we had, because our first caller
was foolish.
Like, what, girl? What do you want? Randomly.
Was like, so somebody told me to
call
here.
It was like, girl, listen. Let me.
They told me they talked about getting the show. You know who it was. I ain't gonna call no names, but it's the other dude. He called. It was like, hey, sweetheart, let me get, you know how he sound. Hey, sweetheart, let me give you my card. I got this little radio station, you can get a show.
We get put off the air and out the station.
As
and
long as
everything
our
else.
check clear every month, we still gonna be on every month.
Out the station.
As long as my card get charged every month, we gonna be just
Listen.
fine. Anyway, so yeah, you'll be our second caller.
So yeah, but
So I want to give a shout out to our brother Lynx, who is going to be competing at the
Mr. and Miss
Ms.
New Jersey leather contest
this weekend in Asbury Park, New Jersey. So I'm going to go up for that. That's
Good.
going to be fun.
We have some associates running too.
One of our associates is running for Mr. Maryland Leather.
I thought there was somebody in New Jersey as well. I thought it was her associate. I could be mixing.
Yeah,
mixing.
Could be. But and you know, last thing that at least I want to say is I finished. I've been reading or listening to over the past couple of months the entire Tales of the City series by Armistead Maupin, and I finished the last book, book 9, which is The Days of Anna Madrigal. So let me tell you how good that book was. I'm sitting on the fucking blue line. Or actually, it's the orange line. I'm just sitting there like,
damn vents and this dust in the
who
damn
is dust? Who is
thing
cutting
with the
onions on this train?
fucking.
What in the world is going on in this train? Let me tell you how good that
Had a
book
moment.
was.
You was just having a
I
moment.
was having a moment. And normally, you know, listen, like, did you ever listen to Whoopi Goldberg's Broadway album, Fontaine?
Around
The world in 80
motherfucking days.
Yeah. In there, she said, "I'm not a crier. I just as soon cut your throat as look at you." That's literally me.
Speak my language, Whoopi. Damn it, speak my language.
Right. So yeah, so I am not a crier as a rule, and I'm just sitting there crying on the fucking subway train.
Well, that's not true because I if I get
It actually I am.
overwhelmed, it pisses me off.
Well, typically I'm just whelmed.
I get overwhelmed with that. Yeah. But anyway,
Well, all right. So what we're gonna talk about today?
so a couple different things. Number one, American Horror Story is Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, so I am so geeked.
It's so funny that the show airs literally right after we do this show.
But I am so geeked at the fact that they have gone back, or they're going back to Murder House.
Yes.
And so if any of you have been watching or are even familiar with the show, this is season 8 of
Yes.
American Horror Story. And so in every single season, there's a different theme or of the show or premise of the show. But there's now they're saying that there's a connection between all the seasons. And
Yes.
so in season 8, they're talking about trying to figure out if this guy is going to be the alpha, and he quite possibly could be the son of Satan, or maybe Satan or whoever, or it could be the cause of this apocalypse that's going on. But they're going back to the beginning to Murder House to see what the connection is. And I am so geeked. And I'm so geeked because Miss Jessica motherfucking Lange is going to be on the show. What? Okay, so Jessica Lange, for all of you that can't figure out who she is the older white woman with the blonde hair, otherwise known as the older Supreme in season 3 on Coven, when she said, "May a house fall on you." I was like, what? I love Jessica Lange.
Yes.
So, and her character on season 1, she kind of annoyed me because she played that. What was that character from?
I didn't watch it, so.
Well, no. What was that character from In Living Color? That the one woman would play. She was always in black and white, and she was always looking for her dude. And she was like, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
Like she's like that
the
one
old timey.
Yeah, she's one of those. She plays that type of character.
Betty Davis kind of character.
And always lost and not and trying to looking for someone and so helpless. However,
Come back to the 5 and dine, Johnny.
right. However, the trick is Miss Jessica Lange in this show. She played. Her character's name was Constance. Miss Constance had a lot of shit going on with her because Miss Constance actually lived in a murder house, and then she wound up having an affair with one. She was married to her husband, had 2 kids. Then the guy lost his job. She had to move next door to the house. Then she had an affair with the guy that lived in the house. Then she wound up getting the guy to kill one of her kids. And Miss Constance has a lot going on, and Miss Constance actually ties into season 8 as being one of the caretakers for the young man in season 8 that they're trying to figure out who he is. Michael. So I'm looking forward to see what this connection is. And then also Billy Porter they went back. Billy Porter and Was it Madison? Not Madison.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Madison?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Billy
bitchy
Porter.
one.
No, was the bitchy one was the one with the brown hair.
No, the
bitchy
who
one.
was,
So that
who
was
in
that's Madison.
Her hell was
the
the Walmart.
Yeah. So they get to go back to Murder House and try to figure out where it all began. So I'm kind of geeked about this.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, it won't be a drawn out like 2-3 episodes before you kind of get to the.
Well, there's only 13 episodes in the
yeah,
show,
but you know sometimes like I just want them to establish the connection and like keep it going because like the first 2 episodes were like.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes were entirely unnecessary.
But episodes 3 and 4 started rolling.
Unless some of those people come back.
Well,
that episode was entirely unnecessary because they could have done everything that they did in like the first 45 minutes. They could have established that Coco and the other one were actually witches who were under identity spell. There was no need for all of the shit that happened there, unless like the light skinned chick and the white guy that she was fucking. Unless they come back, unless the gay dude comes back, you know. All that was unnecessary.
But it set the tone of despair. Mm-hmm. That's what it definitely set. So because it was like you were longing. You're like, oh my God, somebody kill me, please.
Right.
With a blunt spoon now.
And it also seems unnecessary to have had what's the Supreme's name? What's her real name?
The Supreme is Fiona.
Yeah, but what's her real name? That actress to play another character who gets killed off unless that character's going to come back. That just seems unnecessary.
Sarah Paulson.
Right, Sarah Paulson. I mean, you could have had somebody else play that if that was just like a throwaway. It seems.
But she did it with that.
I mean, I get it. I mean,
she did with that little double French roll.
I mean, I guess whatever.
That little double French roll she had going on. It was giving me very much of Dragul from Dracula.
Yeah. Almost. So I mean, I'm very excited to see that, and I will be watching that when I get home with some greens that I made and some yellow rice. So we'll be good to go.
So I'm looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. And then also, I really want to see what how they're going to deal with this. The witches and the connection between Lana Davis, the Oprah character, the Oprah-esque character.
Yeah, because we haven't seen her.
But so my hunch is that she crossed paths with one of them in one of the other episodes or one of the other stories, so to make a connection, or in Coven, somewhere somehow. So I just got to figure that out. Plus, I really want to figure what that is about as well, because she was clearly like, I am not fucking with y'all. Y'all on your own. I'm not doing this. This is not none of my affair. But I want to see what that's all about.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be happy to check that out later on tonight.
Yes.
What else? So have you heard about that Lyft passenger?
Yeah, we talked about him last week.
No, but he's back. Mm-hmm. This time he came back, and according to an article that was in the Atlanta Black Star, he wanted to he apologized, and it was some news footage that was going on, and he apologized, saying that he is not racist, even though he called this man in the video the N-word. But you still lost your job. And so you officially get the epic girl.
Right.
Really?
Right.
But anyway,
I love when people say, racist,
but I'm not racist
or homophobic shit. Well, I'm not racist, but you just said some crazy shit.
You just
you said, you weren't reading a script. I mean, you did not do this under duress. You did this on your own volition.
But he was sitting there saying because he was very intoxicated. And
no, honey.
He was very. He
he
grew up in the Bronx.
Right.
He said he grew up in the Bronx. He grew up in the
projects. It's racist people in the Bronx. It's racist people in the projects.
He said he grew up in the Bronx in the projects, and he said he knew that he was always singled out because he was gay, growing up in the projects. He didn't have a lot of money, and I was like, girl. Every last gay person that at some particular point that faced some sort of obstacle in some way, shape, or form, and I, being from Philadelphia, listen, come on now, the Bronx, Philadelphia,
right, and
listen,
I think he's Dominican. Is he Dominican or something?
No,
he's Latino.
He's Latino. I was going to say Puerto Rican, but
whatever
he's Latino.
He is. But I mean, a lot of Latinos are prejudiced against. I think he was prejudiced.
I bet you were the smartest one in your class.
Right. He, listen, when people say, oh, I didn't mean that, I was drunk. No.
You meant
liquor
listen.
lowers your inhibition. So
You
whatever
meant
it is
exactly
that you do,
what you said
when
and
you
the
were
way
drunk.
you said it. Because the way you said it was so, it exercised the stereotypical gay gene, and you were here for every single one because you was like, oh, you got the right one tonight.
Right,
I got
thought you-
off from tonight, and
right,
my
you
boss
thought-
let me
right,
go.
you
You got
thought
the
you were
right
letting-
one. I was being profiled, and that came out the
You
gay
thought
club.
you were letting him have it, and then you found out he was recording it, and your boss
Your job
didn't really care
at
about it.
City MD or whatever it was, they let your ass go. They let you have it, honey.
Right, just like that lady in St. Louis.
In St. Louis. Come on, listen. This would have been a completely different show had it been you or I.
Listen,
Well, I can't. I'm not going to speak for you. I can only speak for myself.
Well, speak for yourself.
Because I'd have got tired of being like, if you don't get the fuck out of my face right now, I'm trying to get back into my. Listen. Because I would have politely moved her ass to the side and went right into my.
having all that
like, I'm not
conversation.
doing this conversation.
I was like, bitch, I pay rent here.
Listen,
and this is a luxury building, meaning
I have a fob, and I'm great. If
meaning
you don't
for
get your ass out my.
meaning whatever he's paying, whatever that brother was paying for rent is much more than he probably could have paid elsewhere in the city of St. Louis.
And she's like, I stand behind what our homeowners association was saying because we had with some muggings and some break-ins, and I stand behind. They recommend that we don't let people in if we don't know who they are.
Well, but they
what?
Okay, so I mean, you know what?
What?
You know what? So on that tip, I do get it because if you live in a secure building and you are paying for all of that, but first of all, the brother handled it the wrong way because I'd have been like, "Here's my key.
Get out
Here's
my
my
face.
key. Get the fuck out my face."
Yeah, go on about your business because I don't have time.
Right,
for this.
because I'm not entertaining.
It's
not
old
even
dark
a
clock at
single-
night. I done been at work all day. I'm gonna take this left shoe off because there's toes here. If you don't get out go on. And I got a date coming by later on tonight too.
Let me explain. Because I am not a fan of calling the police, but in this episode, I would have called the police. Suddenly, excuse me. I wouldn't have said anything to her other than filming it. I would have put the key in my door, and then I would have stood in the doorway of the place where I live, and then called the police and said, "This is where I live. This woman is harassing me." Here, you can hear her on the phone while I'm FaceTiming this because they still could have been like, "Oh, look, the nigger has a gun," and then you got your keys in your hand. So, but listen, we wouldn't entertain none of that. I wish somebody would try to keep me out of the place where I live. I mean, listen, I do get that if you live in a secure building, you don't want randoms to come in, but it's always now you want to do it because you wouldn't have done that if Biff had been walking through. You'd be like,
"Hi, Biff. Matter of fact, I'm over the door for you." But
Right.
listen,
Let
on
me
top
hold-
of
let me
that,
stay here in the door for you and let all your friends in.
but on top of that, you haven't thought about the fact that most of these serial killers and they're not.
Right,
people
and then
of
if he
color.
wanted to-
They're
if he
not.
want-
they're your good girlfriends,
Right.
Biff and Bob.
And if he wanted
Robert
to,
and-
if he was going to do all that, he wouldn't entertain none of that.
Yeah.
he would have shanked you or robbed you or done whatever. And kept
Speaking
it
of serial
moving.
killer, I'm here for Halloween this weekend. Oh, are you serious?
I'm not big into horror movies.
I am here. Listen, I need to see Michael Myers, and I need to see what Michael Myers is going to do. This is supposed to be the last one. I need to know if Jamie, if she gonna fuck him up, if he gonna get fucked up. I need closure to this Halloween. I need it. And apparently they're going to take it back to. It's supposed to start at the end of Halloween
they're
2.
pretending all of
like
those
all the other ones didn't happen.
horrible sequels didn't happen.
So they're going to start from. So listen, I am here for it.
All right, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything against it, but I'm not into horror movies, so I don't really.
I will be right there. Listen, I'm gonna have to break my little fast. I'm gonna have to go get me a cup of liquor.
I still want to see Venom, and I do want to see.
I was not
A Star is Born.
I was not impressed with Venom, only because they made him into something that he's not, and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't like that.
So yeah. So what's
But anyway,
next?
so T.I.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
So the video, according to CNN, there's one of Melania. Okay, let me back up. T.I. posted this video. It's actually his new song, and in the video, there is a woman that has on a long green jacket that has the "I don't care."
I really don't care.
I really don't care anymore. The famous green jacket that Melania Trump had on. And so you see her back to the camera, and then she turns around, takes off the jacket, and she's standing there naked, and she's supposed to be doing a striptease or like a dance on top of his desk. And apparently, he then afterwards sent a Instagram or Twitter message saying, I am not, to 45, saying, I am not Kanye. So apparently,
Y'all first lady.
Right. Melania Trump
She's not my first lady.
Melania Trump's spokeswoman or spokesperson feels that it was absolutely disgusting, and that because she's the FLOTUS, this should never have happened, and she's calling for a boycott of T.I.
T.I. ain't even that famous.
I was like, first of all, how are you gonna boycott T.I.?
Like checking for T.I. I mean,
like
no
T.I.
shade, but
listen, T.I.
for T.I. like
T.I. is not. Listen, he is not a Michael Jackson. He is not a Mariah
He's not even
Carey.
a Kanye West. No, and I hate Kanye
and
West. I've never cared for Kanye.
But they had a read session going on between the two because his text message or his Instagram post on Kanye was absolutely flawless. He tore him a new asshole, and listen, Kanye walked out whistling because he couldn't put those cheeks together. That anal sphincter muscle couldn't work to get back together because his asshole was just flapping in the wind. It was just because that's what T.I. did with him about him going to meet.
I am not
45.
slut shaming at all, but
no, that's not slut shame.
Melania, we have seen your vagina,
and here's the thing.
And you did that for commercial purposes. This wasn't Princess Diana or Kate Middleton, on a private beach with a long lens. You pose for these pictures, so you can't now act all offended when people show images of you naked.
And so here's my comparison. So I say this to the Melania Trump spokeswoman. When Mr. Grab him by the pussy was running for office, did you find it important to support him, and did you consider his actions to be disgusting?
Right.
Because I want to understand that.
When you talked about what's Joe, the two people that do Joe in the morning or Morning Joe or whatever, you talked about she was, she looked upset. She looked like she was bleeding from her eyes and from her wherever. When you say things like that, were you offended by all of that?
Right. So
why
are you offended by what
selective outrage? What's next?
Let T.I. do what he's gonna do and call that video, and it is what it is. So have you heard about this?
I have not. This is a brand new one to me.
So there's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She is in Africa. She's a 37-year-old Ugandan woman. She lives in, and I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, Kamabiri Village, Mukono district outside of Kampala. Mm-hmm. And she has made the world record for having 38 children. Now,
she is 37 years old. When did she start having kids?
But listen, so here's the thing.
She got to have a couple of multiple births.
She's had 6 sets of twins.
That's 12.
4 sets of triplets.
That's
3 sets
12.
of quadruplets.
That's
and some
plus
single
16.
And some single births.
So 12 plus 16, that's 24 plus 16 is already 40. So that's that's not 38 kids. You said
she had 6 sets of twins.
6 times 2 equals 12.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
4 sets of triplets
equals 12.
3 sets of quadruplets.
3 times 4 equals 12. All right, so we're at 36 now. Mm-hmm. And so she only had 2 single births.
And then some single births.
So you said she had 38 kids, so she only had 2 single births.
10 of these are girls and the rest are boys. The oldest is 23.
So she's had the first. So between the ages of 23,
she was married to this man who was
30. What's
12 years old?
23 is 15.
She was
15 years old when she had the first child.
Right, but she was married at the age of 12 to a man who was 40 years old at the time.
Jesus Christ!
None of these kids, except for the oldest, even know who their father is. She is a single parent because he only visits them like once a year. And he comes.
You mean they all got the same father? She just don't know. They just have no relationship with him.
They don't. He comes at night, literally. And figuratively. And he, the 23-year-old, is the only one that has seen him. And he said the last time he's laid eyes on him was when he was 13. Because he literally just comes through.
Why she keep letting him come back?
That's her husband. Listen.
God bless their ministry, but
That's her husband.
Listen. You put look. He put Lavada Williams to shade. She had 22 children, and then she died because what else could she do? Wow, 38 kids though. Listen, for a while, my cousin was on track to do that because she had she was pregnant with the first child that December or that February of 2000 when our house burned down. Mm-hmm. And then over the next 10 years, she had 7 more kids. And of the 8 kids, only 2 of them have the same father. Which I'm just like,
okay, well,
okay. I mean, I guess, but I'm just like, and then after having 8 kids, her father, my uncle, was like, well, maybe you should consider getting your tubes tied. You know how she cut up behind that? I was like, but you got like 8 kids, so listen, I mean, you have done your bit for perpetuating the species.
So speaking of the tube side, with this young lady, they said the doctor they said she has a genetic predisposition to hyperovulate, releasing multiple eggs in one cycle.
Oh, so these aren't all identicals, but still,
which significantly increases the chance of having multiples. It's always genetic. They said that the doctor said that she could not be stopped. The doctor told her name is Nabatanzi, that she could not be stopped.
Your hand is right in front of you.
Sorry. She could not be stopped because then she had a high ovary count, which could eventually kill her if she stopped.
What?
Right.
Not a high ovary count, but a high egg count? Because you only get 2 ovaries.
Well, yes. I'm reading this article verbatim, so let me make sure She had a high ovary count, which could eventually kill her if she stopped. This is what's printed. But it's probably egg. It's probably supposed to be egg. But these unfertilized eggs accumulate, pose not only a threat to destroy the reproductive system.
Is that her body is making so many eggs is that it's almost like cancer, except instead of the cells, her ovaries are filling up with way too many eggs, and it's probably becoming toxic to her system at some point.
She said she was advised to keep producing since putting this on hold would mean death.
No,
she said she tried using an IUD, but she got sick and vomited a lot to the point of near death.
Yeah, a lot of people do get toxic shock syndrome.
Then they said that I read about this in another article. They said that somehow during one of her births, her uterus was cut, and so she can't have any more children. Don't listen.
Meaning can't because it'll be too painful, or she literally cannot. So she should not have any more children. Is that what that means?
Her uterus was cut, so she cannot have any more children.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what that means, though. I mean, but what are those words?
At 38 kids, I'm good.
I'm
good. And if she can't because it is a accident that happened with this scalpel and something that has happened to her, or if she's decided
10 years younger than us.
I don't have
and kids.
And
like,
I'm trying to understand.
Is when people,
like, how many kids you got?
Right, I
38.
have none.
I got 38.
And they look at me and they look at you like you just said.
You said you got three at 8-year-old.
You got a head growing. You like a horn growing out of your head. When I say I don't have any kids,
then you'll be like, I got 38 kids, girl. I gotta go home. I gotta get my.
But
I
even
got
when
to
people
do. I
are
gotta
like,
cook
yeah,
dinner.
like 2 or 3 kids, I'm like, they're like, how you 40? Like when I first moved into the neighborhood, Pooh was like, how many kids you got for this house? I'm like, I don't have any kids.
Like,
you live in this house all by yourself? Yes. But the house is so big. It's not really that big. The house is 1,800 square feet. You've been in my house. It's not that big. I mean,
Pooh is a little excited.
Pooh is excited
it sounds
because
like,
their house is...
Listen, it sounds like Pooh was trying to come over and give you some Pooh. That's what it sounds like.
Yes, she was. She was.
Pooh was trying to make you her boo. Come on, Boo.
Y'all know my name is Brian. Seems like,
Pooh
hey,
and Boo.
Mr. Brian, how you doing?
Pooh and Boo.
Like,
Pooh and Boo. That's what she was trying to do.
Listen,
I'm going over my Boo house.
I am not one of those people I'm not one of those gay men who are afraid of vagina or anything. But I can tell you with 100% certainty that if and when I do have sex with a woman, she is not the kind of woman that I would have sex with.
Why? Because her name Pooh.
Well, among other things.
Because her name is Pooh.
The kind of women that I find most attractive are similar to the kind of men that I like, short and petite.
Masculine.
Fuck you. I hate everything about you right now. I don't even want to
Masculine with a hairy hole.
I don't even want I do not. Listen, you need to go stand in the corner for the next 30 seconds.
Masculine with a hairy hole and a beard.
I can't even fuck with you right now.
Okay. All right, I'm done. Okay, I'm done.
Go to hell. Just go straight to hell. Anyway, so I do have just a couple. We've got 10 minutes. So I got a couple of things I want to touch on that have been happening in the news. So have you heard about this story about Jamal Khashoggi?
Not.
So Jamal Khashoggi is a journalist for the Washington Post who disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
Yes.
This is so. I don't really even have the words to describe how terrible what happened to this man is. So the Turkish government said that he disappeared in the Saudi embassy under mysterious circumstances. They were afraid that the Saudis had killed him. They, apparently there was some evidence on this man's Apple Watch that was transmitted to the Turks that confirmed that. And now they've done an investigation, and they killed this man.
Because they watched it on that damn Apple Watch.
But they killed him, and they started dismembering him while he was still alive. And this is the person. So your president is caping for the Saudis. It's like this. Where people he said it's just like the Kavanaugh thing. He's they've got someone guilty until proven innocent and all of that. So I just
that is all kinds of sadistic and just
of course one of my Facebook friends who is we get along fine, but he's one of those people who loves to deflect. And he says, when I posted it, he says, "Oh, well, not like the Saudis are the only person who did that." I was like, "Yes, honey, but we're not talking about them right now.
Right?
We can be outraged about something,
and just because it also happened to somebody else
doesn't
never makes it right.
Right? It doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about this particular outrage. So there's that. Then there's also, did you hear about the Idaho wildlife official who had to resign?
Did you see the picture?
So if you didn't see the picture, you can see it on my Facebook stream. This guy is an official with the Idaho Wildlife Board or whatever, who is charged with preserving wildlife. So he took a series of pictures on his Instagram of him on these big game hunts in Africa where he killed a giraffe, and the saddest one is where he killed a family of baboons.
Yes.
And you can see the mother is holding the baby baboon in her arms, and he's clearly they didn't die like that, but he posed with them like the mother, the father, and the baby, and he's posing with them like,
right.
He's killed. I mean, baboons kind of look like humans, so it looked like he killed, a family of hairy humans, and your job is to preserve wildlife. So of course he resigned, and in his resignation letter, he apologized. Not for doing it, but for posting the pictures.
Good old WP.
Yeah. So we still got a few minutes. We want to talk about the GOP Senate candidate in Michigan.
What's my man's name from Django?
No. The black guy.
Samuel
I never
L.
watched
Jackson.
the movie.
Samuel L. Jackson's character.
That nigga is on a horse. That's the only part.
I can't think of his name.
Movie.
He enraged me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So this person, he's black and he's a Republican, so fuck him. But what he did was produce an ad, and in the background of the ad was a swastika. And he says it was an accident, which I just find very hard to believe. Like, no one looked at this ad and was like, "Watch it in the back." Because he is appealing to these racists. How deep in the sunken place do you have to be like, yes, I'm a black person, but I'm going to produce this ad with clearly racist imageries to appeal to these white people who, if they could, would kill me. But, fine, sure, whatever, honey. Oh, and then it looks like our buddy Beto O'Rourke is, on track to win the Texas Senate not nomination, but Texas Senate race for that Ted Cruz holds. The funny part about this.
Bye, Ted.
The funny part about this is that Ted Cruz has been mocking Beto O'Rourke because he's a Latino guy. His name is Roberto O'Rourke, but they say he changed his name. They said they keep calling him this Irish guy, like, people can't be multicultural these days. He says he changed his name from Roberto O'Rourke to Beto O'Rourke because it appeals to whomever.
Didn't Ted change
Ted's name is Rafael
I was like,
Edward Cruz.
Yeah, I was going to say, you changed your name.
Right, and now you go by Ted Cruz. So
Rafael.
you have Rafael.
Rafael.
Right.
You changed your name, man.
Right.
What's up with that, man? You changed your name. What's up? Hey, man, what's up? You changed your name. Because I don't remember you ever being Ted.
Fucking puta. So last thing. So I want to say bravo to all of the people around the Washington, D.C. area who have made Tucker Carlson afraid to go out to eat. Because every time he goes out to eat, people yell, "Fuck you, Tucker," to him. So he's afraid to go out to eat in D.C. now because he feels unsafe.
He should.
He should.
He should.
I'm not.
You do asshole things, and
right. I don't personally.
I'm not threatening you, and
I don't want you to actually confront people because
But speak your mind.
Tucker will call the police for real, so I don't need you getting arrested. But listen, if you see the bitch coming out of a restaurant, yell, "Hey, fuck you, Tucker!" Or listen, if he's in the window,
Tucker,
just duck your head in real
fuck
quick.
You!
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you!
Hey, fuck you! Hey, Tucker Carlson.
Can I take a picture with you?
From Fox News.
Fuck you!
Hey, buddy, fuck you.
I'm having a little bit too much fun with that.
Ooh, could you imagine if we ended up on Fox News? That would be like the biggest publicity for this show ever. That would be hot.
Saying fuck you.
Hey, Tucker Carlson.
Fuck you!
Fuck you, buddy. All right, so the BGKH. We're
back.
Right. The BGKH Show streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com from 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. Eastern and 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Just search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGKH Show with Dominion and Epic. Starting now, actually.
Yeah.
We have the capacity for a live studio audience. I keep forgetting to ask anybody.
Yeah, is anybody, if you're watching the show, can you, tell us if you want to come to the show?
Or call in or something. If you want to call, it's 867-5309. No, it's what's the number? Where's the number?
It is.
Where is it?
It's changed.
Oh.
240-719-2560.
We'll let you know at the top of the show next week. That's
240-719-2560.
So, Epic, how can the kids get in contact with you?
Call me if you need someone to talk to. I'm sorry. Call me. Anyway, so you can reach me by looking for me on Facebook. You can find me under Epic Onyx. You can also reach me on Instagram at I am Epic Onyx. And you can also reach me on Twitter at Epic Onyx1. And how can I reach you, Dominion?
You can reach me by trailways.
This.
You can reach me
always
on an airplane.
The extra over dramatic. Okay.
You can reach me. You can reach me with your mind. Anyway, you can reach me at Dom Onyx.
What the hell's her name?
Oh, Lita Adams,
thank you.
yes.
Okay.
Don't mess with that song.
Sorry. You know why that song was big? Because I was in college during the first Gulf War, and that was a big song.
Oh, yeah.
During that.
I remember that.
And I just remember, because I was 22 years old, and, you know, we didn't know it was going to turn out like it did. We was going to go there and kick some ass and leave. I was like, well, I'm at the perfect age to be drafted, but I was like, I'm too fat to be drafted. So I was like,
Listen, I was going to
listen, if you, even at 22, if they got to the point where they needed to draft my fat ass, this country was fucked.
Let me tell you something. I told my mother then, I was like, listen, girl, if they could draft me, I said, I'm going down there with at that time, this was 1992? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was 21 years old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was going down to the station. I was going to put on a pair
queen.
of heels, and I was going to have
You
this
was gonna
scarf tied around my neck.
queen out.
And listen, I was
Like,
going to
yes,
start
my name is
dancing
Dominion.
and let it go.
Yes,
I was
Miss
going
Thing.
to split right
Yes.
across the floor of the desk of the recruiter, like, because I was not going across that pond. I'm not doing
Absolutely
that.
not.
I'm
Absolutely not.
But I commend all those that did. So let me be
Right,
clear.
listen, this is good.
And
but
I
was
thank
just
you,
like,
and I appreciate your service.
It
but
was
I'm not
hot
doing
as
it.
shit in Tallahassee. I couldn't even fathom being in the desert.
And then you know how to just listen. I'd have just straight up just girled out with these damn camel spiders.
Yeah. So anyway, so you can reach me at Dom Onyx on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/Dom Onyx, and my website, which is www.domonyx.com. So kids, we will get with you next week, where we will talk about a recap from Mr. and Ms. New Jersey Leather.
Yes.
And also you'll find out what's in Dominion's box, which if you follow my Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, you'll see what's in my
have a
box from
box?
Fort Trough. That box.
That
honey,
box. Okay,
that
I was about to
box.
say. Now we putting a box out on.
No, honey, it's
I'm
not like
I was like, what is
that's
going
not
on?
the nature of this
It's like,
game.
what is
Listen,
this?
our producer has
Who
his
are
number.
you? I was like, who are you?
The producer has his number on the button. Let's just end this. So we'll see you all next
Bye,
week.
kids. See you next week.